here. I'm going to share a few trends and statistics and tips for you. So, here's an exciting thing, friends. Social shopping and social selling is a massive growing trend. This is really exciting for new skin distributors. Very, very exciting. In a recent survey, consumers said that over half of the consumers said they follow brands on social to see products. Also for launching new ranges, to get shopping ideas, and the most popular social network for making direct purchases is Facebook. Now, I love Facebook. We're going to talk quite a bit about that. We've also got Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp. Of course, I know that we've got our friends using WeChat, and there's all kinds of different messaging and social apps. The biggest by far is certainly Facebook. All right. Let's see, what else I got? So, this is Instagram is really, really growing for shopping. Consumers, younger demographics, millennials, we'll talk in a minute about Generation Z or Z. And this was actually a video, this is my own personal example. I saw this fun video on Instagram, and they're actually eyelashes that stick them onto your lashes with tiny little magnets. And I was like, this was the kind of like an example of a perfect post, because I thought, oh, I must have those right now. Impulse buy, and I just clicked that shop now button. It's really fun. So it's a short video, explains what it does, and I think we are definitely going to be seeing a lot more of this kind of post or product placement, invitation to purchase directly from Instagram and many other these sites. Let's talk now about how the world is communicating. As many of you probably know, Facebook, so over 92% of Facebook's users access predominantly through their mobile devices. It's very, very mobile-centric. It's also video-centric. A huge emphasis on video. You definitely want to be posting more video and doing live video on Facebook and Instagram. And then, of course, Messenger. Messaging is a very big aspect of growing trends in the social world. Now then, I mentioned with Gen Z, or Z as I say, depending on where you're from. Gen Z, depending on, well, there's different ranges out there. I've seen 18, 19, 20. It's basically everybody on the planet who's about 20 or under. The sweet spot for marketers is around 13 to 16. Now, my friends, this is actually your future market, the Generation Z. These are your potential customers coming up, maybe some of them already, and also potential leaders. Right now, they make up 30% of the global population of consumers, and by 2020, they're going to make up 40%. It's quite extraordinary. Guess what? Their favorite app is actually YouTube. Favorite app and favorite channel, YouTube. They love video. Also, funnily enough, my friends, I actually think because they like YouTube because their parents are not on there, right? like Facebook. Also, I know they like Snapchat too, right? We probably have some Gen Zs in the room here. Facebook recently did a study, and they found that people gaze, right? They did an eye tracking study. People gaze 5 times longer at video content on both Facebook and Instagram than they do static. Okay, this is a big call to action for all of you to be posting more video, more live, more stories. How many of you here use stories, Instagram or Facebook? Yeah, should be more of you. You definitely want to be taking advantage of Instagram stories, because there's 250 million active users per day are posting stories. Now we have a horizontal video for you there, but stories are always a portrait. They're always vertical. And this is U.S. consumers. They spend 5 hours per day on mobile devices. 92% of which are in apps and 8% just in the browser. But guess what? Of those 5 hours, 1 full hour is on Facebook alone. And then another half hour is on messaging apps. It's pretty exciting. So let's talk about just some of the big stats and numbers and why we should definitely be favoring Facebook and their families, they call it their family of apps. The growth is astounding. 2.01 billion, they celebrated their 2 billion users this year. Next, let's look at Messenger. And my friends, we have this conversation again this time next year. We are definitely going to be seeing some massive evolving, or evolution, I was going to say, iterating with Messenger, being able to shop directly inside of Messenger, being able to provide extraordinary customer service through Messenger. It's very exciting. You can have those one-on-one conversations. And the open rate, when you message someone through a messaging app, it's a very high open rate as opposed to email. And you want to do email as well. Instagram just celebrated another big milestone. They're at 800 million active users. And it has been said that Instagram is Facebook's next Facebook. And it's really funny because people say this to me all the time. Mari, do you think there'll ever be an app that's going to be as big as Facebook, or is it, compete with Facebook? And I just don't really think so. Facebook has got this locked down. It's extraordinary. They just had their big virtual reality conference this week. But Instagram is really coming up more for shopping, for commerce, social selling, social shopping. And then don't forget that Facebook owns WhatsApp. And 1.3 billion active users, similar to Messenger, and Facebook is just beginning to put more features in for business users on WhatsApp. Very exciting times. Now then, with Facebook Live, I'm a big fan of Facebook Live. This is really fun little video here. Shout out to Jeff for these beautiful slides. And this is Sandy Tillotson, one of your co-founders. Facebook actually has 8 billion video views per day, and that is a 100% growth in the past 6 months. And Facebook video has increased by 94% annually in the US alone. And video posts get 135% more reach than photo posts. So Facebook is the algorithms, they're favoring video posts in the newsfeed. And then the fourth point here, that Facebook Live users are 10 times more likely to comment on a Facebook Live. All the more reason. How many of you do Facebook Lives? Yes? Should be more of you. More of you should be putting your hands up. You do some shouts and hollers. You're probably Facebook Living right now, right? Good deal. I love it. This is a perfect place to do Facebook Lives. My friends at a company called BuzzSumo, they're a content discovery engine, they studied the top 100 million Facebook videos, and they found that these are some of the top topics. And I highlighted there for you what's relevant to new skin distributors, fashion and beauty, health, fitness. These are among the top topics for video, which I absolutely love. Now then, Square Video. Instagram is really the home of Square Video, but when you create Square Video and post it also on Facebook, as well as Instagram, it performs better. You get more reach, and as the stat says here, people are 67% more likely to watch a Square video to completion, meaning all the way to the end, than they are to watch a horizontal one. I would also recommend, as I say, the stories, the vertical type videos are great too. This is Sheryl Sandberg. She's the COO, Chief Operating Officer of Facebook, a wonderful lady. And she recommends that you create what she calls short-form, snackable content. Little micro nuggets of video content, visual content, doing your live, doing your stories. Obviously on Instagram, stories are only 15 seconds, and on Facebook they're actually 20 seconds. But these are great for just getting the word out about sharing what you're doing, and lifestyle, and having fun, and inviting people in, and talking. You can talk about the products, of course. We're going to talk at the moment with the panel here, some great ideas for you. And my final slide here, my top recommendation, absolutely, as I love to say, my top #1 content creation tip, when you're creating your post, your photo, your video, is you think about your followers, your friends, your fans, looking at your post in their newsfeed, and they would see it go, oh, this is awesome, I want to share it. So you craft your posts for maximum shares when you can. Okay, with that, we are going to hand back to the lovely Kathy. Newskin is so lucky to have her. She's amazing. She leads by example. Thank you so much, and I'll be back later.
questions for her. She will be joining our distributor panel as well. All right, so now let's talk about what this means to us at Nu Skin. You heard all of those amazing stats, all the facts, how powerful social is. What does this mean to us at Nu Skin? How can we capitalize on the trends that are happening and make this work for us? First, let's talk about this wheel again. I'm going to go into a few details about this wheel. We're going to talk about every one of these steps. This is what I've learned as I've been watching successful distributors do their business. It's, again, not a different business, just has slightly different best practices. So one thing is starting with the products. We have found that social is such a powerful customer acquisition tool. People want to try our products. People love to see videos of you using products and solving problems with products. And we have a product for everybody. So think about what products you would want to share. So you start, let's see if I hit this right. You start by posting about the products. Lots of different ways you can post about the products. You can just take a beautiful selfie. You can talk about your lipstick, your teeth, your eyelashes. You can talk about anything in a beautiful selfie. You can talk about just how happy you are because you're at home or whatever, but you can do that. You can use videos that we create as the company. That middle one is a LumiSpa video, demoing the LumiSpa. You can talk about product usage. The most important part here that I want to talk about with the global group, when you post about products, I want every single one of you to go back to your market website and find your social media guidelines and make sure you understand what your regulations are for what you can post. You can all post, but make sure you understand if there are rules with before and afters or how you talk about products, okay? So you need to go do that, but don't be hesitant to post. Just make sure you post right. But again, using the products and your personal stories will always be the most powerful. Next, you're going to see if people have interest. You need to sell the products. Maybe you talked about a restaurant that you loved or a movie you saw. Well, you don't actually sell those, but you do sell these products. Do a call to action. Make sure that people know that they can be a part of this with you, that you have these. Gauge their interest. When a brand new person comes on, they can gauge interest before they've ever purchased a product from Nu Skin. And then the next step is that then they come to us and they buy the products. And I'm going to talk about different ways that they can buy the products in just a second. But this is what makes social a very low, no risk opportunity for people. Is they don't have to go and make a decision to buy a bunch of product and then sell it. They can gauge their audience on Facebook and then come and buy products. The critical part between this sell-buy also is you take it one-on-one. You guys heard Mari talk about WhatsApp and Messenger and how much time people spend on there. That's where you're actually selling these products, is in a one-to-one conversation. It doesn't have to be face-to-face. You can still be one-to-one in Messenger, but you do this with individuals. Then what we've seen is then a lot of people are buying these products and shipping them out themselves. Now, we're not asking you to do that. We're going to provide some different opportunities for this, but the amazing part of this step that I've seen is the personalization that has been happening. And we at the company want to figure out how to capitalize on this and how to add this into your customer's experience. Because a personal note and that experience from the very beginning to the very end is so important for your customers. And then you recruit. You have your customers reorder. You repeat this, and you continue doing this. We're going to talk about with the panel some different ways to really make sure that this cycle can continue on and can happen. But this is, again, you want to find business partners. You want to continue your customers being able to order again from you, and you want to use this same cycle to teach your team. So this is what happens, and this is how it continues to go around and around. The message is simple. Beauty ambassadors wanted. You're on social media. Post, share, earn. It's very, very simple to start the conversation. Once you've started the conversation, you've acquired new customers, you've acquired people who want to be part of this business, then you train them, not on social, not in your posts. You train them one-on-one. You train them through Messenger. You train them through meetings. You train them through live. You take it to that next step. But you need to be using this to attract these customers, get them their first product, and teach them the power of social. All right. What are we at the company doing to help you with this? How can we take some of this work off of your hands? Do you know what you guys are the best at? Finding customers, recruiting, building sales partners. We don't expect you to be at home packaging and shipping orders. You guys don't want to spend your time doing that unless you're really passionate about customer orders. Most of you are probably not, and you don't want to do that. So we are in beta right now with an amazing tool that will take that buy, sell, ship, and it will put it on Nu Skin's site. Let's take a look at a video.
Your posts create curiosity. Your personal brand is on point. And you develop meaningful relationships with potential customers that keep you and your brand front of mind. You are a social seller. Lucky for you, social selling has never been easier thanks to Nu Skin's My Store app. You asked for a simple way to create a personalized, seamless shopping experience for your customers, and now you have it. Simply enter the name of whoever you're sending an offer to, choose the products they desire, and share the link any way you want. Each offer you create is a predetermined shopping experience. All your customers have to do is enter their shipping and payment info, and they're done. It's that simple. With My Store, there's no more wondering if customers have completed purchases, or worrying about those purchases being tied to your ID. There's also no more staying up all night packing orders for your customers. We'll take care of the busy work so you can spend more time on what matters most.
This is what we want to provide you. And we do have a booth out here that you can talk to the digital team about. But this is in beta already in the US and Canada, and we're working tirelessly with all of your markets to get this out as quickly as we can. So work with your markets, talk to your VPs or your account managers, and ask, can I be part of the beta? What do I need to do? How can I be a part of this? And again, as it's in beta, give us feedback. The only way for us to make this better for you is to understand how you're using it and how we can make it better. So we are so excited to provide these tools to you. We'll continue building these for you. All right, you guys, are you ready for the panel? I think we're ready for the panel because that is what we're here for. So please help me welcome to the stage Perry, Kate, Sherry, Kike, and Mari back up. And I've already got questions coming in from you guys, so keep those questions coming. Again, we have a URL and the bit.ly right here and the QR code for you. But what we're going to start with first is I want you guys each to introduce just a little bit about yourselves, when you started social, how long you've been with the business, and then either the biggest obstacle you've seen in social or the most common question you get from your team, but when they're starting social. Okay, so Sherry, let's start with you.
Okay, my name is Sherry Brady. I have been in Nu Skin for 26 years. And I know, I'm one of the old people in this business. Actually, I think that's why I'm on this panel, so you guys know that old people can do this. Anyway, I saw social media for the first time a year ago at convention. Actually, I saw it 2 years ago. I saw Emma Carpenter and Hazel Calvert on stage talking about social media. And I sat in my chair and just hoped and prayed that this was not true, that this was going to go away. Because I didn't know anything about social media. I didn't know how to, I had a Facebook account, but I didn't know how to log into it because my kids set it up. And I had 137 friends, and I had no idea where they came from. I mean, I didn't know how they got on my Facebook site or why they would follow me. But then a year later, I saw it again at convention. That was last year at convention. And I realized we are not going back. That is the direction we are going in. We are moving in social media. And so it was a question of, am I going to do this, or is this where I bow out of the business? And fortunately, I believe in the power of yet. I didn't know how to do social media yet, but I knew I could figure it out. And so I have spent the last year figuring out social media, and it has been so much fun. And I can tell you, because I did it, anybody in this room can do social media and can build with it. So I think that there are three things that are the obstacles in social media, and that is fear, confusion, and a lack of friends. And I had all three of those. So for fear, that's the one I'll tackle, and I'm sure these guys will answer the rest of the questions. But my husband has always said, if you're afraid of something, you cannot go around it, because it just gets bigger and bigger. If you're afraid of something, you have to walk right into the middle of it, and then the fear disappears. And so for those of you who are afraid to start social media, my whole message is just start. Just do it. And then that fear will go away, and you'll figure out how to do it, and then you'll have more fun with this business than you've ever had.
Thank you, Sherry. And she's not giving herself very much credit. This girl is a rock star, and she is doing amazing social stuff. Kate, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about social and the obstacles.
So I'm Kate Williams, and I have been around the business about a year, but doing social maybe about half that time. Kind of like Sherry, I didn't know what I was doing. I was a little hesitant, and just because I was not active on social media. I loved social media and watching everybody else, but I was not active and had about 200 friends and didn't know what to do. And so then one thing that I've really taught my team and helped them with over the years, especially with the You Revolution, and we all talk about branding, and you know, a challenge for a lot of people is, you know, how do I brand myself? What do I do? What does that look like? And so I just challenge people, you know, figure out who you are and what makes you unique. And a way to do that, to help you if you need some how-to, is think of about 6 words that describe you, that are unique to you, and that you can create a brand around. So, you know, I could say I'm a wife and a mom, and we travel the world. Or I could say I am a twin mom traveling the world as an expat. And so now, all of a sudden, channeling that into specific categories, you now have a brand and you now have an audience. And so every post that you do, the hashtags, the captions, anything that you do can be strategically in that brand of who you are. So whether you are on a farm or you live in New York City, that is a part of who you are. And so that is now, it gives you an audience and gives you something to talk about. And then people start following you.
I love that. And again, being true to who you are instead of trying, if you live on a farm, don't pretend like you live in New York City. Be who you are, because that's what's attractive. Perry.
Hi.
Perry, tell us. I don't know if you need to introduce yourself, but I want you to anyway.
Thank you. So my name's Perry Walker and I'm from the UK. So I've been in the business just over 2 years now, and I have built my business through social media, mainly using Facebook. So I just want to tackle what Sherry said, which is about coming into the business and not having many friends on Facebook. So just a little bit about my background. Before I joined the company, I was working in a call centre, very glamorous job, not 9 till 5, Monday to Friday, and the only time I ever used my social media was to be negative, was to complain that I wasn't feeling well, I couldn't be bothered to go to work, I didn't have any money. So starting this business, I didn't even have Instagram, I didn't have that, I didn't catch on to that. I only had around 300 friends on Facebook. Now, a lot of you, I'm sure, will be recruiting actively through social media, and we always get those people that say, there's too many people doing it. Who's had that objection before? No one?
Give it a second for the truth.
I'll be waiting all day. So I get that quite a lot. Now, me and my best friend actually started this business at the same time. We had been to lower school together, middle school, we had worked together, we were working in the same company when we both joined, we had the same circle of friends. So a lot of people could argue, how would we both, and she sponsored me, we weren't working together as such, so how would we both be able to have success on social media when we have the same circle of influence? So what's really powerful about social media is how you can basically speed up the process of network marketing. So there's a lot of people that come into our business now that are big influencers, they have a lot of followers, and they've essentially done the difficult part of network marketing already. They just weren't in the right vehicle. But I want to reach out to the people that come into this business with really no network, because I was in that position, and say to you, social media is the best way that you can build a big network in a short amount of time. Every single day, make it your aim to be connecting with at least 10 new people through social media, whether it's an Instagram interaction, whether it's a Facebook friend, whether it's a direct message, whether it's a new customer. The quicker, the more people that you speak to from around the world, the quicker you're going to build that circle of influence. It doesn't matter whether you come into this business with 100,000 followers or 1 follower. You can make this a massive success, and that's what I just want to say to everyone.
I love that. Thank you. We have our mics. We're good. Hold on to that. I'm asking you more. That was perfect. Because you don't need to go look for million-follower people. So remember that, you guys. Kike, tell us about you.
Okay, thank you. I'm Kike from Latin America.
I think you have some fans out there.
Yeah, hello, my ladies. My team's over there. Mamita. Sorry. I'm from Colombia. I've been doing this business for 4 years with my wife and my sister-in-law. And I have two questions that I usually make to myself. The first one was, I was doing the business like the old-fashioned, like the old way. How can I do like the business this way, in social media? And the second question was, how can a man like me, because I'm a man.
Guys, look at your fans.
Yeah, I know. how can a man can do this part of the business? And then I realized that in the first question was like, my business hasn't changed at all. I realized that it's a very good way to prospect a lot of people. At the beginning, we started like the business with people in our hometown, with the family, with the closest friends. But when you start posting on Facebook, for example, the reach itself is amazing. We start having the business in other countries, in other languages that we didn't speak yet. It's amazing how can we reach a lot of people just with a post. I can realize that. And the second question was, okay, I'm a man. How can I do this? But the company is talking to us. Last year I saw Perry on the stage. Thank you very much for the thing that you told us last year, because I wanted to learn how to do this business, how to do social media as a man. And it said, the company told us, your revolution. And it's been like a year that the company is telling us that. Your revolution is not AP24 revolution or a Marine Mode revolution, it's your revolution. Then I realized that I have to become the best version of me. And I think this is the best advice I can give you. You have to show yourself as a unique, as authentic, as if you are happy, if you are spontaneous, you have to be yourself. That's the way you can reach a lot of people, because the people is watching you on Facebook. It's Facebook. It's face. You have to show your face to the people, and that's the thing that
I love that. Thank you, TK. I love your face. I love this. I want them to follow me around. Can you guys follow me around? That's awesome. Mari,
Biggest obstacle or thing you see in social?
right, I've been listening to these wonderful answers up here and some great advice and tips. And I was thinking back to when I first joined Facebook and Twitter. It was in 2007, 11 years ago. And it really changed how I went about my daily life. I was seeing the world, my world, and going around with the filter, as if I was wearing glasses, of what is interesting that I can share. What in my life right now is, quote, shareable, that would be interesting and valuable and helpful to my audience. And then I always am strategic. I'm always thinking, well, how would this, like posting a picture of myself on stage or speaking or with a microphone, let people know, well, I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer, I travel the world and that's what I do. And so, Sherry was talking about like some of the obstacles of like not having them. What were the three things you said? Not having friends and fear, confusion, and friends. I love that. It's so true for a lot of people, and it's also time. And I survey people all the time. They're like, oh, I just want time to do it. Like, I just take so much time because maybe they're looking at really beautifully edited videos that someone spent ages and resources in a studio putting together. But I love this concept of social media is something that you grout your day with. And grout is the stuff that you put in between tiles, you know, on your floor or in the shower, grout. So think about your day, you're going about your day, and social, because as I mentioned earlier, 92% on Facebook are mobile predominantly. We're living a very mobile-centric world. These folks up here are taking pictures and live it right away in real time. I love it. And so thinking about those moments, so the two things, glasses on as if what's shareable with my audience right now, and what can I just throw and publish nuggets here and there throughout the day, grouting your day with social updates strategically.
That is perfect, thank you. Okay, now questions from you guys in the audience. We have a lot of great questions coming in. Keep them coming, and we will answer as many as we can. Okay, the first one that I want to ask Perry is, how do you make a retail post integrated into a personal post without it being too much?
Okay, so this is everything that I do. When I joined the business, because I worked in sales for so long, cold calling, kind of hardcore sales, my spike of interest was not in the retailing side of the business. I wasn't necessarily interested in being a distributor and selling a lot of products. So for me, how I market the product is purely through my own results. It would be very rare for me to use somebody else's results unless it's a really good result, or we're doing, say, a global campaign, or for example, in the UK we've just had the plumping lip balm launch. I know you guys have had it for like 10 years, but we've only just got that. So we are really excited about that. So that's a rare occasion, but how I would make a post, essentially how I'm reading this question is not to come across very salesy, is we have to be using these products when we are promoting them, because when you move that customer from the post to the inbox, you want to be really confident that you know what you're talking about, but also your results sell better than anybody else's. So, for example, I recently used the AHA chemical peel in the 180 range, which a lot of people in the UK are selling a lot of at the moment because it's a great social seller. So, how I marketed that, I've had that peel for a long time, but I just haven't used it. So I was really honest with my audience and I said, I've had this peel sitting in the cupboard for a year now, but I've never used it. Now, I tried it for the first time today, and these are my results. And I did a before picture and an after picture, and then just gave some brief bullet points on what this product does. I think it's really important when you're doing a sales post that you make it personal. So, for example, don't just use a generic image that everybody else uses. Make your own. So, for example, if you are doing one about the peel, take a picture of the peel in your bathroom so people can see that's in your home. And that's going to distinguish you from selling 1 to selling 10. And also giving some real clear, concise, correct bullet points on what that product does. You can find all the information on what the product does on the Nu Skin website, the benefits, the usage, the ingredients and the price, so you don't need to make it up, and within 5 minutes you've got a personal post that's special to you but also going to sell to a wide audience.
That was perfect, Carrie. And I think compliance is very happy.
I know, I am trying to impress them today.
But you guys, it's true. Use your own pictures, use your own posts. Only say what the product really does. You don't have to do more than that. That will sell more products and you will have happier customers and returning customers in the end. So those are critical pieces. Okay, Sherry, what is the best way to get referral posts?
Okay, so before I answer that question, can I just ask you a question really quick? How many people in here are already selling on social media? But actually not a lot, right? I mean, most of you are just looking at this, trying to figure it out.
Just like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So a referral post is you get someone that you know to place a post for you and a toothpaste post for you so that you can sell product to their friends and their contacts. And that enables you to get into a whole new set of contacts and a whole new group of people to sell the product to and to actually have potential distributors or come from that. So how you get a referral post is well, the quickest, easiest way is to ask friends and family if they'll do a referral post for you. Tell them, you know, you're starting this business and ask them if they'll help you. So how many of your friends and family would say, no, I'm not going to help you? So they'll say, yes, of course I'll help you. What do you need? And you can say, it's very simple. Just place this post, put a couple of sentences that sound like you at the beginning of it. I'll make sure the post is fun and not pushy. And then I'll answer the questions. So you'll just introduce me as your friend or sister or whatever, and say she'll be handling all of the questions and comments below. So important, a referral post is that they edify you and explain who you are so that people aren't shocked when you are answering the referral post. So referral posts are actually magical. Okay, so it's like driving a line, referral posts are. So you get a referral post into a whole new group of contacts and people. And then maybe one of those people in that group will do a referral post and then get into their group of contacts and their, you can sell to them. And maybe one of those people will do a referral post. So it's like driving a line through referral posts. And they're really important. They're a really important part of your business if you're going to do social selling. And you can get, sometimes we offer a free tube of toothpaste. If they'll do a referral post and they sell 2 tubes, then we'll offer them a free tube of toothpaste. So sometimes when people respond to my PM and say, I'd love to do this, but I don't have $20 right now, then I'll just say, I know how you can get a tube free if you want to run a referral post. So I ask people who not necessarily have tons of friends on Facebook, but people who have engagement on Facebook. People who are getting likes and comments. So sometimes people with 300 friends get 30, 40 comments every time they place a post. So they are engaging people and they have engagement. So if they place a post, they're going to get a response to that post. So those are the kind of people I look for to do referral posts. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. You got a few yeses. Kate, how do you build a team with social media that's more like a family? I think this is more that's more like a family without seeing the people in person. This is perfect for you because you live in Indonesia as an expat, and your team, a lot of them are in the US. So this is a perfect question for you. So how do we